Alright guys, so now we're going to try to draw some shapes on the faces so that we can start to put shapes into the actual shape sorter itself. Up here on my top left hand corner I can see there's a show data panel. If I click on that, it's got the stuff that I've done in the past. So I'm going to double click on the shape sorter and that will open that into the screen. I can close this here. So one of the things I would advise you to do is, rather than actually having a maximized window, which kind of makes the graphics card struggle a little bit, is if you minimize the window or just reduce it a little bit, it means that we can actually use the graphics card a little bit better. That's just a little tip there for you. So I want to draw on these faces here. You need to tell the computer that that is what you want to do. So I'm going to say, right, I'm going to do a sketch first, very simply. I'm going to do a circle, and this is going to be center diameter circle rather than a 2-point or 3-point. And I'm going to click. It's asking me to select a plane, but I actually want to select a face. Okay, so I'm going to select this face here. It's turned blue to let me know that I've selected it, and it's actually rotated, auto-rotated, so that I can start to draw on this face. Now, if I select the middle, it'll show up. I can use these lines to help me guide myself to the center. If I click and move to the side, and I can actually just add a dimension. So I can come out here as far as I want, and I can just type in 40, enter, enter. All right. So it's added that. You can see it's added that circle to that face. Now I want to get rid of that circle. So again, I'm going to create an extrusion. And I'm going to select the circle. It's asking me to select the profile, and it's asking me to select a distance. Now I'm just going to grab the little handle here, the arrow, and that I'm pushing it into it, and you can see it's changed the operation to cut. So I'm cutting into that, and I've put in a distance of 10 millimeters. I know that the wall is 5 millimeters thick because I set that, and I can click OK. So we can see now that this is drilled a hole into the side, and we can see into that block. So if I was wanting to draw on this face here, again I will select my rectangle, and this time I'm going to go center rectangle because I want it to be in the center of my face. Alright, so center rectangle, I'm selecting this face here, saying to the computer this is the one I want. I'm going to select in the middle, move to the side, and I'm going to say, right, I want that 25, enter, and I want that, let's say 45, enter, and I'm going to enter a second time to say that that's completed that operation. Now I could do the same thing I did before, and I could kind of take this away from that face, but actually what I want to do is I'm going to add to this drawing, this sketch, because I want to create an archway. So I've selected my circle, and I'm going to go center point, and I'm going to select the center of this line, and I can see that it's the midpoint because a little triangle comes up, a little blue triangle, and I'm going to click and I'm going to drag that up to the middle. Now I can see that I've got actually too many lines. There's a lot of confusion going in, so I'm going to stop that sketch, and really I want to make sure that this sketch is left with this section here. So I want to delete that, and I want to delete that, and that is done by going to sketch, going to trim, and then selecting that section and selecting this section, and I'm left with behind my little archway that I've created. Okay, so I can stop that sketch again. I want to create an extrusion. Okay, let's rotate that around a little bit. I want to select that shape, and I'm going to again drag it in. This time it's gone in 7, doesn't matter as long as it's more than 5, and I click OK. So there you go, you've got a hollow shape with another shape coming inside. Right, on the top face here, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to create a complex shape using a polygon tool. Now this is one of those things that you kind of need to pre-think about, really. You can do a circumscribed polygon, which is this first one. So that what it does is it uses a circle to dictate the inside dimensions of the shape. If we've got the inscribe polygon, it will use a circle outside of the shape to dictate the absolute outer limits. So I'm going to use the inscribe polygon, click on that, and I'm going to select the center here, and you can see that it's using a circle around the outside here to dictate the outside point from the radius from the center. So if I want that, I'm going to type in 20, that's the one I want, and if I press tab to click over here, I can actually change the number of sides that I want. So if I went to 5, it would add 5 sides. If I went to 3, it would make a triangle. So I can really dictate how big these shapes are. It's quite simple. If I said 34, it's quite a lot. If I went to 4, it would do a square, and so on. So if I said I want an 8-sided shape that is a 20 millimeter radius, click enter, and I've got myself a nice shape here that I can again go and extrude. Make sure I pull that in, click OK, and I've got that shape on that face. Okay. So really, I want you to have a bit of a play, see whether you can add a shape to every side here. What I'll do is I'll stop talking. I'm going to add some additional shapes and see whether you guys can come up with something else. Okay.